Yes, yes. Welcome to the Babbling Aids once again. I am DJ Mad Fingers.
The base 187, we have Charlie Ecstasy.
Yo.
And today's special guest is none other than Danya, Goosen.
You got it right.
Welcome. Okay, I smell fucking... Anyway. I hate the intros, I fucking hate it. Kiki, welcome. I want to thank you for doing this. Let's start with a brief background of who you are and what you do and what you've been doing. And
Okay, so for those that don't know who I am Danya Goosen, all the way from Alsies River. I'm literally all over the place. I am what they say a micro-influencer. I am a property administrator. That's my 9 to 5. I am a single mother. I have my own social enterprise where I give back to the community. So a lot of things.
Okay, cool. So, what inspired you to be a blogger?
I'm not a blogger.
A vlogger.
I'm not a vlogger also. That's the thing. People always say like, oh, so you post videos, you're a vlogger. I do a bit more with my platform. I've changed, I think personally, I've changed the game. A lot of people has reached out and said they're so used to seeing, because if you're a vlogger or a blogger, you normally post about a product. So you're selling something or you're promoting or endorsing. I don't do that. I don't go, hey guys. No. So what I do is I touch on all everyday experiences. So I started off by going through Instagram, obviously, and Facebook, and I noticed that there is a, I would say the personal touch is not online. It's all about posting about where I'm going today, what I'm eating. That is personal for some people. For me, I felt like, but what is that helping the next person, the next girl,
making
the
a
next...
change really doesn't...
Yes, and it's not always for me, not about just making a change, but for me, it's like, how are you influencing this person looking at this post? Because it actually makes me depressed looking at someone bowling out in the waterfront and ek kan net gaan to Beperro Center. You know, my budget only allows me to, go. So it makes me depressed at the end of the day. So I decided I'm going to change that. I'm going to flip the game and I'm going to start posting about the real things. Talk about how hard it is being a single mother and the upside, the good side of that also, you know. My relationship, work, how my boss works on my nerves most of the time, you know. My parents, we would sit, we were at dinner, and then my parents I would record them without them knowing. Because we started social media last year. I would record them and then they would have this weird conversations, and then other colored families can relate because it's so, it's the same. So that is why I do vlogging and blogging.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so like, what's your least favorite thing about the process?
Oh, you always get the people out there that thinks you're out here to compete with someone else. And I always say like, but the internet is for everyone. Yeah. You know, so they always see if there's one colored girl, they pin you up to, oh, you're not as good as that other person of color, you know, but if that is the bad side.
Okay.
But I've learned to also flip that on them.
Nice.
And
Okay, so
To lease die brother daar. Jy kan maar dit maak so dit lease. Yes. Ek kan nie multitask nie.
I can multitask.
I told you.
On average, how long does it take for you, to do the videos and put it all together?
So I always said that I take my hat off to bloggers because I never knew that it takes so much of your time. So I have a 9 to 5. I have to go home. I have to cook, clean, look at my daughter's homework, and my daughter talks a lot. lot. A lot.
She got it from her mama.
A lot, eh? And certain things, equity, then I have to still go Google, van practical, you know what I mean? So I take my hat off to the bloggers and the influencers. For me, I don't. I just post it. Klaar het maak, post done. I don't. That is the thing that people actually love about me, because I don't go and edit. I don't go and cut and do this and wrong angle. Yeah, it's my hair is so staan. I'll post it like that. If my makeup is whack, it's being posted. Yeah, so
I
for
prefer
me,
nogal daai. I prefer like that. Like even that intro that was a bit fucked up. I'm gonna leave it as is.
yes, man. Why must we go to that extent for what? People are still gonna judge. They're still gonna say, "Oh, it was good or it was bad." So
True. Check here from all the vloggers that you know have experienced and seen and whatever. Where's had the most influence on you?
was South African?
Anyone that's
World?
that
Jeez, that's a tough question, guys, because that's
no.
it's bad.
So basically, what you do is you see all of them, what they have in common, and you just do what you don't like in them, and you do the opposite type of thing,
I would say
or what they
that.
lack.
I would say that. So when I look at the South African blogging and vlogging market, there's a lot where, like I said, they only do one thing.
Yeah.
And then there's like a few others that have their own personal experience that they share online. So I would look at them and I was like, this is scripted.
Yeah.
Cut that. I don't want that, you know? So, and then when I look on the international side of things, it's the same. Like, oh my God, guys, have you seen this product? Like, you know, so...
Hij is actually mooi gedoen.
yeah.
So kind of what I mean.
I know. I tried doing a chocolate once, and then I think it was this one. I'm not going to mention the company's name. They actually responded. They were like, "Would you want us to send you some chocolates?" I was like, "Nah, it's alright." Because then you have to continuously do. And I was like, "No." There is like a few. I wouldn't call them, because now they moved over to comedy. They're comedians now. Jess Hilarious, she's from Baltimore. And then there was B. Simone, she's on Wild and Out with Nick Cannon now. She started off as a blogger in a car. Same thing, talking about real life experiences, but now they're moving into the more stand-up comedy.
Structured
I was also approached in the beginning of my blogging to get into stand-up comedy. I was like, nee. No.
One of those things. We either you have it or you don't.
Yes.
Because we had Simon last episode. He didn't say, "No, it's not natural." He thought he could do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you born with it or you don't?
Yeah, and I was like, nee, sometimes it's only my parents that would laugh at my jokes. So, nah, it's all right.
And your boyfriend.
Yeah, yes.
He's obligated.
He's obligated to.
So tell me, like, what's the worst blowback you've received, like, from one of your shows or stuff that you put up?
The worst. I think it was the worst. Yeah, there were so many. I have to think the worst. Yes.
Or some of the more memorable ones?
Ooh, I had one just recently.
If it is what I think it is, I hoor vir later. Daar kom
Okay,
ek.
so, wow. Man, there was one where I touched on race. And I think it was that one guy that made the video when he was on holiday. The white guy.
yeah.
So
Thank God,
I got like 8,000 views on that video of mine, and I thought people were okay with what I was saying. People loved it, but I got a few, like, people was like, "Where do you live? We want to come to our house." Was, what? I was like, "Come on.
Kom pad toe, ja.
Kom pad toe. So that for me is like, I never thought it will get to that
Yeah.
level where people, and that is, I think, in the beginning of last year or 2 years ago, I can't remember. And I never thought people would actually take it to that level.
Yeah.
That was, I think, that was that.
So, describe your channel in 2 words.
Unfiltered, That's one. Yes, why two?
Because one is too easy.
Yes, it's unfiltered and loud.
Oh, that's cool.
Unfiltered and loud. Yeah,
I'm proud.
and proud
As drie.
and colored.
Ja, is lekker.
Dat is lekker te zien.
Klomp.
Check here. Do you feel pressured to get more views and more subscribers and as even I mean so?
No, you know the crazy parties. I always and you can ask my boyfriend. We would sit in and we'll see these people with 100,000 followers, and then they have 1,000 likes, and I'm like, something doesn't add up here.
Yeah.
Something doesn't, because so goed in my maths, but sure, you know what I mean? Like something's not adding up. For me personally, that is not something I want, because my actual followers that I have is people that I engage with.
Have a
It's
relationship
real
with that.
people.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if it increases, that's okay. But then how am I going to control having to speak to 50,000 people? I want to have that personal. When someone, like the other day when I posted about the incident that happened in the restaurant of that guy that
Dros?
hey?
The Dros one.
No.
that place.
It was another restaurant where the model grabbed the waitresses behind.
Okay.
And I touched on that and I said, you know what?
Just like
It's
you
been
touched on it.
happening.
You also touched on it.
Oh,
Anyway.
we
No,
can
that's
touch-
You touched on it and he touched on it.
Yes, we both, but yeah. Baie stadig. So I touched on, Lord.
Grazed
I
on it.
made a video about that, and then a girl actually DM'd me and she said, D, can I please share something with you in private? And I was like, go ahead. I mean, you already know. Yeah, so you might as well. I'm not going to go and share it with the world. And that's also my followers feel comfortable to
Yeah.
approach me with certain things, because they know I'm not just going to say, oh, this person said that, And she said she's experiencing the same thing in her workplace. And I was like, and she asked me, what should she
Yeah.
do? So I
This
said,
day and age, no?
she went to the HR, she done that. So I had to give her, advice and stuff. So for me, that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
Having that little bit of plain bitchy followers is all right. And likes for me, it's not a thing, eh? I'm excited for the whole thing about them removing the likes.
Ja, ek is nie baie op dinge so nie. In fact, I don't have a profile on
I'm
Instagram.
ashamed.
So ek weet nie
Nee, you need to come to the party.
the what's the name? Simon it now. When was it? Last episode he said when he doesn't chase anymore because he used to be like that. I have to put out content, whatever. But he said he became actually very selfish in the process. When he's say familie toe mee gesien nie.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So now he's just laying back, enjoying it, put it out when he wants to.
Yeah.
And the quality is better, man. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? It's better.
Just touching on incidents like that, when somebody confides in you, do you feel that at times that you're not necessarily equipped to address like major issues? Is because like I found that like, when we're working in schools sometimes with the kids, you'll get some horror stories that come out, and you really don't know how the hell to
Yeah.
deal with this. How like certain advice like you can give, like obviously like HR, but like somebody's like if there's a personal situation at home and abuse is taking place, it's like one thing to say, yes, go to the helpline or phone this one and that one, but sometimes the interactions is like you're seeing that person the next day and you don't know like how can I help this person?
Yeah.
Like have you like encountered issues like that?
Yes, I went to, where was that? For Santa Cruz. And I spent some time there with young girls from that community, because it's sad on that side, guys. So I went there, spent some time there, and the girls came to me after I had my whole talk with them. They felt comfortable to come and share a few things with me. And the one girl actually said to me that there's certain things happening at home. And I said to her, look, I can't do
Yeah.
magic and make it disappear. But I can tell you now, these people that obviously invited me there, there's a reason why they put these programs in place for you guys. So I'm going to go with you, or I'll, if you want me to rather speak to the lady and explain the situation. Obviously, it's hard. It's not that easy. We understand, but there's certain things that has to, take place that we in my capacity, I can't, and that is all I can do. I can always just inform the next person if I see if it's a child. But if it's a grown person, I would always, or adult, I would say, this is who you can contact, or I would get them in contact with those people, because I can't,
Yeah.
unless Compato.
But
I would just, we haven't actually mentioned the name of your shows or your initiatives, and we just touched briefly on what you're doing. So your content is Sipping Tea with D.
Yes.
That's your vlogs. And then the care pack drive that you do for the girls. What is
that is it's Danya's care pack drive, because it was I started it off because I was a single mom and a teenage mom, in that fact. So I know how hard it is to raise a child, and I decided, I want to give back to young mothers in the community. And but that is from my company that I have with Marvin. It's called Lotus Street. And so we have a few other things that we have planned also going forward, because I feel the focus should not just be on females right now. I feel like we need to touch on the boys and speak to them and help build them up from a young age also. So that is also coming soon. I have a thrift shop called Together. It's where I get secondhand clothes from all my, I don't want to say all my rich friends, but people that they have items that just hanging
surplus.
there with tags, haven't worn it, Yes, people do that. I know. And then I would sell it, in the community for like everything is like under 100 rand, so it will go for 20 rand. A pair of sneakers will be 30 rand, a pair of Nike sneakers, so whatever, like it's still in decent condition. But that is not also what we do with Together. So if anyone in the community, anything happens, say your house burned down or, anything like that, which I just done now 2 days ago, I would get a whole lot of things together and I would like donate to that family, school shoes and all those type of things. So that is then what we do with Together. Yeah, and then also we just help where we can.
I think initiatives like that is like sorely needed, especially in our communities. So big ups to you for that, because there's a lot of people that tend to take, especially in the entertainment industry and amongst the other micro influencers or mega influencers. It's like there's no reciprocation. As like I don't see the likes of Nadia Jafta doing anything altruistic in the community. And now she's on Tropica, so Island of Fun. And jack shit is happening back in the wood. So it's like
liquor, man.
no, like
That's
liquor.
our job, man.
Can I say something on that? I personally feel like we as a whole, as a human race, we suffer from the lack of empathy. So if I'm not from that area, I don't care. That's just how it is. I don't know what's going on there, so I don't care. But not to say to the point like, I don't care, I'll post here and there, I'll put a share, I'll share what, let's play for the Cape Flats, let's do that. They'll do, those little things, go to the marches when it's a big hype because they're looking for clout per se. But it's harder for them to relate to our struggles. That is why for me, I try and say I don't want to mention their names, but the bigger influencers, because people always ask me, why is the influencers not doing anything? They have this huge following. Why aren't they giving back to the community? And my response is always like, what are you doing? Stop asking. Because if we're all going to pin fingers to point in this, it's not going to help. Clearly that person, she's running after a bag.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with her chasing a bag. that is why I'm not gonna
expensive
go.
bag.
And it's
So Louis Vuitton.
it's expensive.
Only available at Canal Walk.
Yeah. So for me, with that, I always say like people, it's hard, man. Like if you don't know what it is to come from these areas, or if you don't have to be from those areas, but if you don't know people from that areas, if your circle is not, if you don't have one person that grew up. Which is hard. I always find it hard. There has to be someone at least, in your crew that grew up either on the Cape Flats or, but if you don't know that, if you don't know the experience, if you haven't heard the stories, then it's hard for you to relate to it. For you, it's just la-di-da and I'm going to go do my nails and
Sure, I see.
catch a flight.
Ja, I see. Wat is waar?
Yeah.
So, what is the most interesting thing you've read this week?
Read this week.
Or seen, perhaps?
Most interesting thing that I read this week. Oh, I discovered that. I don't know if I can I talk about that? Oh, but it was an article I read. It was a news article that I read that going on with this whole corona thing. One thing people that I found shocking is people never knew that there was something that existed as the coronavirus. They never knew there's multiple, That is for me shocking. I never knew that people
the
didn't
reason
know
why
that.
it's called corona is because of the shape of it. It looks like a crown. And that's what must sit up your balls, basically. It won't affect any other part of your body, just your chest.
Oh,
That's the little that I know.
Ek het maar net gepraat van, I didn't know that the people didn't know that a thing existed, because now people is asking about man-made, and that is one thing. And the other thing, as I was reading, I came across the medical aid system that has been like kind of forcing females to have C-sections because they get more money out of that. That I found was shocking. So yeah, that is the most interesting thing I read this week.
Talking about the virus, what actually me nog 'n bietjie as people with influence is hulle maak die mense bang man oor die virus man. Hulle maak dit worse as wat ek gaan die name noem. Hulle maak dit worse wat dit is nog nie hier nie man. Dit is nog nie tyd om te panic nie, maar hulle is klaar in panic stations al man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I've also read that people have recovered from the
Yes.
virus. So it's
A
not
baby
that
also, there's one
deadly.
baby
Yes.
that
I understand. But I think it's just to create global panic, man.
Yeah.
So, what prompted you to reach out and write a letter to the president? How did that come about?
There's so many things I want to say to that man, but look, for me, it was like we've done, from my view, I feel like we've done everything.
Yeah.
There's nothing, in that state of mind, I was in my office, I was crying, I was shivering and crying, I was in a state. I wrote that letter. I was in a state, I was in an emotional state.
Yeah.
And I felt, you know what? How it's pointless just saying, the president this, the government this, my neighbor this. But approach the person then, like say something. And I felt like, for me personally, I had to somehow, I sent that letter to, I don't know, probably everyone in Parliament.
Yeah.
I took everyone's email addresses and I just sent it. But I felt like someone needs to see this, read this, even if it's not him, even if they throw it in the bin. But I also felt like I just had to get it off my chest.
Yeah.
That is why I...
So what was the content of it? What was the content of it? Can you elaborate on it?
So for me, the things that everyone is now crying about has been happening, right?
Yeah.
It's been happening for years. It's been happening since before, my birth. But it's been increasing. It's been getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And I felt like I need to just to pin it down. But the crazy part is a few months ago, actually last year, April-ish, I started blogging or vlogging more on this topic that people needs to wake up. There's a serious problem, there's war. Because for me, the boy that washed my car, they just shot him in front of my house. What? Through his hands, like, and it was fine. It was okay. And then the army came and the police came and, like, like it's a norm and then it's done and that's it. And then another day later, someone got shot again, and a day later
It becomes a norm, yeah.
So for me, it's like, I need to share this because I think people don't understand the severity of what's actually going down.
Kyk, it's like sy storie van die padda wat in die water sit, in die pot, en dan raak die pot, die water in die pot steadily raak het warm. Totdat hy wil zijn, hy is nog nie. You know, it's like that. It's,
Yes.
Slowly, but it's fucked up, dude. Dude, Cape Flats is fucked up, bro.
Yeah, people think it's a
South Africa's
joke.
fucked up.
They think a man raping a child now, they think it's been happening. We've
That's
been
abnormal.
crying, and it's not okay. The like in my letter, I stated there that the guy that raped and killed Jesse, I grew up with him. I played block with him. You know what I mean? He was like someone that I grew up with. And when he came out of jail, we as a community, we drew up a petition and we said we do not want this boy, because he done it to his own, it was his cousin's wife that he raped. That's why he went to jail the first time. So for us, why should we allow this man here? And yet the powers that be didn't take note of that. And then that happened. Then, and now it's a big hype. Now the whole world wants to jump on it, but we've been fighting this thing, and that upsets me so much to the point where I want to cry most of the time, because yes, you jump in your car and you drive off to the sunset, wherever you, like if you're from, say you grew up in the Cape Flats and now you're moving out of the Cape Flats. Yes, you might think your problem is stopping. The problem is actually increasing because what if you move to, say, Sea Point? Waar gaan jy 'n airplane vat if you want to fly to Johannesburg? You have to drive to come. And then you get hijacked and then you want to cry. So let's start working on the inside. Let's stop thinking, ons hardloop weg and then it's not helping.
It's all of our problem now.
It's
collectively.
It's a human problem.
But I think also to a large extent that government relies too heavily on civil society, social enterprises, etc., to do their work for them.
Yeah.
Case in point, just before Tasman's body was found, I attended the Grassy Park CPF meeting, Community Police Forum meeting. And Correctional Services was there. And for the first time in years, they actually gave the CPF a list of all the parolees that are being released.
Okay.
So I asked the simple question is that if the neighborhood watchers and the CPF are supposed to be, this is now us offering our own time and putting our lives at risk to patrol the streets, why is it that we are not being, at least the neighborhood watchers shouldn't have a list of all parolees in their areas.
Yeah.
So they know, Jan het nou uitgekom met die man het, and he's now a sexual offender or he's for breaking in or whatever, so the community can police them, which is what's supposed to be. Not to say that we don't want, because apparently they don't release us to the general public because they have rights. Prisoners have rights. Fair enough, but also I also have the right to know that my child is not being exposed to potential danger,
Yes.
or my property is at risk, or my goods, whatever the case may be. So there seems to be a major disconnect, and especially also how the way that the parolees are monitored. I'm not sure if they haven't even, like, I know within the States there's the parole officers,
Yes.
and you have to check in certain days. So this bro was on the run for months and nobody picked it up. I mean, he's went as far as Beaufort West, etc. So I just think there's a major disconnect in the system, and in this day and age, the way that dockets go missing at the police station, they've got this antiquated style of using a pin, not even a stapler, but using a pin to put pages together. It's just completely stupid. So I think as society, we need a major wake up in terms of our justice system, our government system.
And can I just add to that? Sorry, just to not to cut you off, but as a community itself, I feel like we also need to. Yes, we know that the system is so messed up, right? But for me, I feel we also not helping. It was just before Tasne's funeral. I think it was a Thursday. I drove down that street. And I saw so many little girls walking around. Just, and it was dark already. Like, so what are we saying now? Yes, we know that there's predators everywhere.
Yeah.
Like we can't stop that. We can help, but as parents, as a community, because back in the day when I was growing up, and I'm pretty sure all of you guys can relate to that. If a chain nonsense aangevang het, of it's past, a certain time, your pa and your ma, they come look for you, one, or the neighbor, the auntie, scalp your pat. Why are you smoking on the corner? I'm going to tell your parents, dinga. That is not happening anymore.
Not at all.
Your kid is my kid. That is not happening anymore. And that is, for me, I feel is also part of the problem.
Yeah.
And
but like my point, like what I also think is like you see how prisons work, okay? It's a correctional service. It's not a rehabilitation service.
Yes.
So you're releasing a sex offender, but you haven't treated him mentally.
Yes.
Because that's a psychological issue as well. But all he gets is a punishment for a couple of years. If that guy isn't rehabilitated in say 20 years, you're supposed to keep that man there.
yeah.
Because he's gonna rape someone again.
Yeah.
So there has to be a system in place to, rehabilitate these guys. Otherwise, it's pointless just releasing them into the public again.
And I always say, like, when I look at these cases and things like that, like with the Jesse case, me knowing the guy personally, he went through some horrible things growing up. Not to say what he did was right or okay or justify and all that type of things, but there's certain things that people experience, and then to touch on that, like they need to get that, they need to go into a system where they get the certain help that they need, because now they go in for that thing, but now you're releasing them because now they're going through some more extra things there in prison. And that increases whatever they've been through, the crimes they've committed. It just, heightens that. And now it's just like, I need to do it again. I need to, like they don't get the proper help that they also need. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. Check here. So, dis is vir
Ooh, wat is jou vraag?
is my kans. Kyk hier, so recently I saw the video that you did for on the what's this track's name? For my colored girls.
For colored girls.
Yeah, the youngster track. You had some words. Can I just explain to you what I saw it?
Yes. The music video or my video?
No, when I saw your video.
Okay.
I like the music video, by the way.
Okay.
Dale, I've worked with Dale. Black Noise videos I shoot. Yeah. So I know how it works. I like the colors of it. It was for me, it's mooi. It's baie different van youngsters ander videos. But ek personally as a parent, like, hou nie van die gangsters wat in sy ding is. But hy's 'n artist and hy kan doen wat hy wil. You know
of
what
course.
I'm saying? But when I saw the video, I was like, okay, no, it's a Valentine's Day. Female's gonna love it. He's mooi lady so ek is happy vir die Brahman. You know what I'm saying? Daar sien ek nou jou video wat nou net ek dink myself sy Goosen. Dit was nog Goosen nie. Goosen nie. Sê ai Danya, wat gaan nou weer aan? Ons moet nou die negative sien in dit. But the thing is, one thing I can say, there was other people that also had a problem with it, but I think their point came from very hateful, but maybe it's just a male thing, and maybe because you're female, I could see you addressed it in a lovable, not lovable way, but in a critique, what's the word? Critic basis, man, op 'n level. So it didn't come from hate. So what made you do the video, your reply or not reply, your video against it and stuff like that?
Youngster, you know what? When I start, like I always say, when I've been asked this question quite a few times, the song I heard last year when the album dropped, I love listening to people's music, not just I'm not a sheeple. I don't just go with the hype. I actually sit, I take time, I listen to people's music. I watch people's music videos. So the song came out last year and I already had a problem with it, but I just left it. I was like, let me see. Maybe, let me see how it goes and all that. Then the video came out. And I was like, man, now you really want me to say something. When I done the video, I said, this is not a diss to Youngster. I respect him as an artist. I respect his work. I respect his music. I respect him, However, I just feel in 2020, guys, and you can feel the way you want to feel in 2020. I don't think it's a man's place to speak for females. I just feel like that. But wait.
Okay.
You are not going to tell me what beauty is.
Yeah.
Number one, a man won't do that. That is just how I feel in 2020. And when I say that, due to all the things that we've been experiencing, it's a very touchy subject.
Yeah.
Number one, right? This has got nothing to do with Youngster as a person. I said this in general. As artists or public figures, okay? If we want to touch on things like that, men should... If you want to speak on those things, let's speak about beauty, but don't then use or throw in, I'm going to, or she gives me head on, kapse weg.
Why not?
Excuse me?
Why not?
As
As die man was geblees.
Yes, if it's your girlfriend, if it's
But who
it's
says it
your...
wasn't? Miskien kan dit
Because he was talking about a whole lot of different girls.
So-
I got dinges and
So-
different area codes. Because he was naming quite a few area codes.
Maar hy is mos getroud. Die man kan mos doen
He's
wat hy
got
wil.
a girlfriend.
But it's hypothetically it is gesê. It's a
I get that.
fantasy.
I get that. But like I said, coming back to in 2020.
Do you think when he said Cape Town to London in a quantum, do you think that's really going to happen? You know what I'm
when-
saying? Lyrics shouldn't be taken like
I-
literally all the man.
But
You know what
that's
I'm
the
saying?
thing. But that was my whole vibe. I am not saying like he said a whole lot of crazy things already in all his other music. I just feel like that is why I felt as a
No, you
female,
have the right to-
I have the right to address that, because when the music video started, he said there, I speak under correction, he said something about he apologized for all men for what we've been going through as females, but that is not, but for me, it's like, so now you're putting out this thing now for us to say, you go to Ravensmead, which I live 2 streets away from Ravensmead. You're telling me that the girls there only want loving from a gangster. We are trying to get away from that, and you are saying you don't want this. It's not a...
Maybe meant like a course gangster.
No. Hy praat van nie, hy het die chatties
Maybe
en die
he doesn't
dinge en die
mean like
dinge.
that type of
No,
gangster. He's
no,
a course gangster.
no. As hy al die tyd gerap het van kos gangsters, dan het ons verstaan. No.
Nou maak het alles
So for
clear.
me personally, I just feel like that I said the video is cool. I said the song is okay. I said he is a good artist. For me, that song, as a colored woman, since he's saying for all colored girls, I praat nie van my nie, because that is not me in that video. I'm not represented very well in that video. So, and I don't want to hear that, they didn't have enough time to put in all, no. You know how all colored females look. We don't all look like we have straight hair, straight noses. We don't look like that.
Check it. This is my point. The music industry, it's about, hoe kan ek het nou stel? That video is to show the beauty, not
That is-
two sides of it. Maybe it's just to show,
No.
like the pink on in the dinges. It's to show a different side, because he shows his gangster side, and now he's trying to make it palatable for
For what?
For
Nah.
TV, the
Yes,
TV,
that is something
radio, TV, waar alles moet mooi lyk en
Yes.
nie reality is nie.
That is something
You know
I
what
would
I'm saying?
expect
Does it make
from.
sense what I'm
That is
trying to say?
something I would expect from AKA, not someone that's saying is the voice of the Cape. Now that's two different stories.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
If
but
you wanna
I
go-
can see why an artist would want to do that because he's trying to as Simon nou dat gesê het, hy vloek in sy dinge se waar ander comedians nie vloekie so hulle is meer they can sell it more, they can sell their brand more. Maybe he wants to sell his brand more, so he's giving that image of
And that is
So,
okay.
do you
That
get what
is-
I'm probably
that
not
is-
articulating it properly, but
But that is okay. That is what I said in my video. I understand all those things. I understand everything like that. What it is to, I know what hip hop is. I know what it is to be in mainstream media. I understand all those side of those things. But if you want to say you are representing us as colored people, beter jy vir ons reg
yeah,
represent.
maar it's difficult.
That is no, it's not that it's not that difficult.
Because we are ons is 'n potpourri van
So what
Different
are you saying? So all the other artists in Cape Town, the colored artists and the people that's rapping that's not in the forefront. What are you saying about them? Because they are also pushing our culture. They are also pushing our language. They are also pushing our culture basically. So what are you saying about them?
What do you mean?
So, for instance, you are saying that he's trying. He's not trying because we are not all featured. And when I say that, I'm talking about the video now. We are not represented properly in that video.
Wat wil sy gesê net in die video?
Nee, hy kan almal daai meisies daar
Wie
gesit
wat
het.
wys is nog?
Whoever, hy kan hulle almal daar gesit het. But my point is, then because we don't look like that. Growing up for me, it was very hard being die meisie met die pittekop op skool. Now that you people think it's a joke, it
No,
was
not at
hard.
all.
We got bullied because we couldn't go to the southern suburbs van die northern suburbs gold almal pittekoppe. So why are you doing this to us? It's been a fight for us for years, you know?
Maybe it didn't.
No,
I
we
think
will
we
didn't think
research.
it we didn't see it.
Firstly, Nantel, do you digging it?
Grave
Moer se
yourself.
hol vir jouself.
That's fine.
Ja, wat jy gaan jou moer as ek kan nie dink sien. But
Promise you, if I play that video to my wife, she wouldn't have a problem with it.
no, but the thing is also watching the video was shot nicely, graded well.
It's a beautiful.
But I also felt there wasn't a strong enough representation. I won't go to the extreme where Brian Ebden went into to say that mense het kakhaar and whatever. Yes, the colored spectrum ranges from straight to coarse, ethnic, whatever you want to call the hair. I know for a fact I have two daughters. One's got the mother's hair, one's got my hair. So there's a constant fight in the house. And the first thing is because the way we personify or validate beauty is based on the European thing. So the
Yes.
fairer your skin, the straighter your nose,
Yes.
the color of your eyes, the texture of
Straighter
your
your
hair.
hair.
The straighter your hair makes you automatically better than the
Yes.
next person. So I felt I know some of the girls are in the video, but at the same time I also think there wasn't enough represented because I know there wasn't enough curly hair, natural hair, if you want to go with the natural hair movement, braids, pleskop, whatever the case may be. And I don't think that we should even be defending this. Whether the youngster was in charge of the director of DOP's point of view or how it should have been filmed, at the end of the day, as an artist, as a person paying for the video, he had the final say. So I'm not here to defend him or to say he's a grandbra, whatever the case may be. The music industry, the hip-hop industry itself has the, how would I say now, a very typical patriarchal view in terms of what men and how they view women.
Yeah.
And I think that narrative has to change. Because at the same time, our kids are listening to this music, you are promoting the sexual proclivity with the kids. They now see this as a norm. Like you said, society is slowly going down the tube, and this is now becoming the norm to kids. It's like the same thing as it takes a village to raise a child, but the village can't discipline the child. The village doesn't want to get involved. The young mother that wasn't prepared for having the child is now trying to live a best life at the age of 30 odd.
Yeah.
And the lady is out on the street, basically repeating the cycle.
Yes.
So nobody's coming in if you want, and he's going to call me Debbie Down again. He's going to think I'm sucking the life out of this, the fun out of the podcast. But at the same time, we need to make a change. We need to take a stance because otherwise things are going to devolve even further.
Can I just say something? Ek weet nie nou hoe oud hulle almal is. I'm not going to ask you because
Because over that say.
I grew up as a teenager in the 90s, right? Ek het twee dinge gesê in the back of my mind. I said there will never be a dope white rapper. I was fucking wrong. Eminem came along. I said to myself, I didn't say that loud, but I thought in the back of my head, there will never be an MC from the Cape Flats that is going to reach celebrity status and youngster proved me wrong. All I'm saying, I'm coming from a point of view and I'm saying, you're not coming from a point of hate, but there is people that comes from a point of hate when it comes to this video. I just feel that ons moet nie so fout soek in klein dingetjies nie, man. For me, I just want us to back the bra because we haven't had a bra on that level to represent whatever as a colored bra, and I just want us all to back the bra, man. And I just feel, for me, that not from you, from the other guys, I just feel it was a cheap shot, man. It was like a cheap shot, and he's a Muslim lady.
Oh yeah,
that
part was.
And the gekste part is, you coming from a point of love, now you being shared by other people that it doesn't feel like there's love involvement. It's like as dit 'n afdruk is soos hy katte in die mekaar afdruk in daai video wat julle van julle. Is net so, man. So
yeah, it's like
I just want us to back the bra because
I don't have a problem
he's doing
with
good.
backing youngster. But I also feel that there is room for us as his audience
Yes.
and his fans to say, look here, but
I get what you're saying, but it has to come from love.
But like that comment, now you see, like sometimes now what you put out there as trying to correct him and trying to address the issue, somebody else has now jacked that
Attaching
and attached it to that, and like basically it's like, I know there's anti-Semitism, is a hatred of Jews. I'm not sure what it was, Islamophobia or whatever. But now you're saying. Because he rapped on a beat banger song about Boekap, you they like to come from Boekap af and he's got this kakkedagtes. I'm like, no, he sang a song about Boekap. He's from Wynberg. He's from Ocean View. For that, it's like, case in point, the same person that put that comment out, he's lighty, he's a rapper. That is 10 times he has females twerking in his video.
And
also the die hare van die meisjes, hulle gooi die hare. So, double standards.
Yes.
Your own son is a rapper.
Yes.
But you're not dissing youngster because there wasn't enough, there was not enough a fair representation of the variety of color, but also the way he said, daar's mense met kakhare. That in itself is an issue.
Yeah.
It's like we are born in Africa, we were not born this climate you shouldn't actually be having straight hair in this climate.
Yeah.
You person from Africa. It's like this is celebrated.
Yeah.
Check it, sorry, and nog 'n ding hoekom ek like daai so appreciate. I don't know if you know because you're not from the southern suburbs, no? Hy het 'n billboard gehad met sy album cover. Net ek outside of N5 by Parkwood. Hy het 'n dag gehad. Weet jy hoe brilliant is daai dude, man, vir my personally, man. Ek het daar verbygery en gesê,
you see your own people,
fucking moment, dude. Die leiers van Parkwood kan op 'n veld staan en vir Jansen Dopora, okay, sy pa se pizza, but het is sy album, man. You know what I'm saying? Hy kan dit enige ander plek gesit het, but the fact that it was there, man. So he's doing stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Ek sien nou dit dat die leiers so aangaan. You know what I'm saying? So when you say he's not representing whatever, but he might put misgesit daar so met dene, but he's definitely doing positive for the image of colored people and for the leiders om te sien, oh shit, I can fucking do this. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but then just to touch on that, that when I spoke about the video, I spoke from a colored woman's perspective, but I want to speak as a mother now. for me, I'll say it. I don't want people to think that I have some hate towards this guy. I have no hate towards him. I met him once. We were in a club and it was hip hop just playing the whole time. And my table was here, his table was there. And I was rapping along to all the songs, every song that was it was playing back to back. And he looked at me and he was like, and then later on in the night, he was like, you know what, my friends were like, you this kind, she knows all the songs. Like, it's crazy. And we had a conversation. So there's no bad blood, you know. There's nothing like that. For me, it's just that now coming back to when you say about the young kids looking up to him, yes, that's all good, fair and well. For me personally, I don't think I want my child to think that is what it is to make it in life. Yes, it's okay to be an artist, it's good and whatever, but for me, I listen to young boys in Elsa's River walking around. I'm talking about 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds singing Kaapstad. Now we have a problem.
Because in a deep gat hier.
Because no, for me, I feel like now, because if that is what young boys are, and there's a lot of his work ethic, yes, his hustle, yes, but for me, when it comes to certain things, I do not want my child as a mother. I don't know how other parents feel. My child will not be celebrating or promoting gangsterism, because there is quite a few lyrics that I can point out. Even the album, the song that he just dropped now the other day. And ek is die type of person. Ek hou van nou mense support. Let me go stream. Let me listen to the song. I support, you know? I support people, even if they think I hate. Let me listen to the song. Yeah, that will celebrate you. He said in the one line, and I quote, you celebrate Pablo, I celebrate Rashid, and okay. We're doing this. That's what we're doing right now. Okay. Now you see what I mean? I have nothing against him. I just feel like, moet dan nie say I am the voice of the KP. Say I'm an artist, I'm a rapper. Don't say I want to represent my people. What the people? Because my sister, I'm not going to say who and what she is, but sy represent ons country baie mooi, you know? And she's from the hood, but sy sê nie sy's 'n Kaapstad tyding nie. You know what I mean? I'm not
just
taking
according
away.
to that, like, this is what hulle moet die radio version kry, né? Hulle moet die file version.
Waar gaat hulle die radio version
Hulle moet
kry?
as hulle fans is, hulle moet dit kry.
No, because you know, growing up in our era, ek Bluetooth vir jou of ek stuur dit op WhatsApp, so wanneer moet hulle dit oor die radio?
Hulle moet hulle due diligence.
Nee, please, we have to stay with the times.
Yeah.
But I love and appreciate him.
I have to be the
Okay.
devil's advocate.
Then I think we can wrap it up now. Thank you so much for coming through.
How long are we doing this?
It's baie lank.
Yeah,
It was 50 minutes.
50.
Ja, ek het nog 'n
It's long.
Yes.
I think,
No, it's fine.
Do we want to introduce, we've got Danya's partner, Marvin Levendal of Mobcow.
Hey,
AKA
baby.
Danya se voice.
Danya's we saw that.
That's a deep metaphor.
We've got, we're having our first giveaway ever on the podcast. So when this is uploaded, the person that shares the video the most will be once we select the winner, will be receiving a Mobcow hamper, which we have right here. This consists of, metrosexual,
Yes,
Mobcow cap,
man.
as well as
Sorry, what did Jay-Z say? It's mauve. It's mauve. It's not
Mauve.
pink.
And we got a dope Mobcow hoodie. So whoever's a size small, hier's ook al could be a belated Valentine's gift to your girlfriend. So yeah, go ahead, like and share the video.
And the mauves because of cancer, no? Show you got on last week, so it was most.
Okay, dope.
Everything in one.
All in one.
Dude, thanks for doing this giveaway. This is not a dope idea.
No, thanks,
like that to
man.
give-
I was just staying busy, man.
Yeah.
Staying busy, you know. I represent the brand. Obviously, the rest of the guys has moved on. So I keep the brand alive. It's my bread and butter. Don't worry, the brand won't die. I'm keeping it alive, and I'm branching out into a lot of new things alongside Danya and our other company, Lotus Street. So yeah, we're looking at doing focusing a bit on education going forward. So I'm just going through the motions of upskilling myself, educating myself about the education system. You know, because there's a lady who always used to like, what is these men teaching us? Why are they teaching us? So I was always used to complain about those things, man. And like eventually I just decided, let me find out how the education system works. Because I've studied, I have paperwork. But I never understood how it works. You need so much credits and all this stuff. What's a credit? Sal I net 'n fuck en ek kry jy 'n credit of so. So now I'm on the journey now to learn about the education system so that we can develop formal content for our communities, for young boys.
Ek appreciate toch of jou energy en die Kaapse dinge se. Sy kom van hip-hop, but you don't restrict you just to what the box is, man. Sy wens uit op jou eie ding en
Yeah, because for me that is what hip hop ultimately is.
Yeah.
Hip hop ultimately allows you and gives you the freedom to go explore. That's what hip hop is. I mean, we can have conversations about music and about all of those type of things when it comes to hip hop. But at the end of the day, it's the hip hop. The mindset is what I wake up with every day. Whatever I achieve, whatever I get to do, for me that is hip hop.
Nah, thanks for pulling through. Danya, I appreciate your time. Say, Mr. Danya.
Cool. No, thanks for having us. Man.
Thank you for having
Shots
us.
of that.
Thanks for having us.
Sure.
Safety boots. Check you guys out.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.